Dear friends, colleagues, artists and lovers of the theatre, thank you to Abhimanyu Vinay Kumar and to the Janabheri School of Acting and Performance Studies for inviting me to contribute to this initiative. My name is Sruthi Bala. I am a researcher and lecturer in theatre and performance studies, currently based in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I want to share with you some of my thoughts in answer to the question that Abhimanyu placed to me. And the question is, what is the place of the arts and what is the task of artists in this moment? I'm sure all of you listening to this have been thinking about this question in one way or the other. The fact that so many of us are thinking about it doesn't, of course, make it any easier to answer. Cultural events around the world have been cancelled. Museums, concert halls, theatres are shut. Artists are out of work for months together. For many, it's impossible to even think about art and culture because their daily survival and livelihood is under threat. A virus is forcing us to ask some difficult questions. The questions were, of course, in the air, but they became louder thanks to this microorganism at the edge of life. When governments declare that only essential services must remain open, art and cultural activities must now take the backseat position as so-called inessential activities. Maybe some of us are asking ourselves existential questions such as, what am I doing as a practitioner or teacher or student of the arts in a world that is in such a deep crisis on so many levels? Shouldn't I be learning how to grow food instead? What will happen to the arts in the coming years after the immediate crisis of the virus has passed? When the economic crisis of global proportions will hit us in so many different ways, and when the ecological crisis will become even greater. But from the very moment that the arts were declared or may have been declared inessential, they seem to be sought after like a breath of fresh air in a prison. There seems to be a spontaneous surge in virtual attempts at keeping cultural life flowing. Starting from corona memes and jokes to synchronized ensembles playing music online, to initiatives such as this one of Janabheri, where night after night, for 20 days, artists are coming forward to share their talents and thoughts and expressions. We have endless lists of books to read, music playlists, films to watch, performances screened online. There is a hunger for sharing and connecting, each of us from the isolation of our homes, all of us in this state of great vulnerability, which we share but in such shockingly unequal ways. So, although it may seem as secondary to food and shelter and health and safety, we seem to need the arts and cultural life more than ever. People speak of the virus as non-discriminatory, that it knows no and respects no borders. Yet, we are witnessing how the virus makes us reveal the ugliest forms of racism, casteism, and all the other inequalities and deep divisions that we have on the planet. Although the pandemic is global, the ways in which different societies and cultures respond to it and tackle it vary vastly. They reveal underlying assumptions about the way in which the relationship between culture and nature is imagined. And they reveal how this imagination itself is culturally, historically determined. When we hear political leaders speak of the war against the virus, or when they say we will win the battle, or even when people use metaphors such as nature is taking revenge, these are not neutral descriptions. They tell us something about how we imagine ourselves. They invent the idea of who we are, who we think we are, through oppositions like nature and culture, human and non-human, small and big. Everyone is confident and buoyant about the fact that the artistic and cultural field will recover from the corona crisis. And for sure, this will pass, just as other disasters have passed, or just as other disasters have become invisible and faded out of public memory, though they are still surrounding us. However, none of us knows what the long-term impacts of it will be. We don't know if we will think the same way about the world in July as we do today. The uncertainty, the volatility of the situation shows that we are at a historical moment where we will need to seriously rethink, reconfigure, recalibrate the relation between art and culture and society. I think it's the task of every student of the arts and culture to pay attention to these ways of shaping and framing the world. It's a time to be observant, to watch and study the hard-wired reflexes of human life. Because only when we come to understand these deep-rooted habits will we be able to imagine how to alter them. And alter them we must. So, just like a dancer works on training a single muscle through careful observation, repetition, slow, patient repetition, just like a musician tries to reach one particular note in a way that has not been reached before, just like a theatre actor works hard at undoing rigid movement or voice patterns, similarly, we as a planet are in need of training in changing our habits on a large societal scale. No economy, no political party, no religion, no nation state is interested in safeguarding our imaginations. Artists are the ones who spend their lives in training the imagination to be open to possibilities that did not exist before. More urgently than ever before, this is what we need.